let's review how to deadlift. So the biggest thing about deadlifting, it comes down to 3 key concepts. Concept number 1 is creating lat tension by pulling the slack out of the bar. What does that mean? You have a big muscle that spans from kind of under your armpit all the way down to your low back, right? So that's your latissimus dorsi, or your lats, or your upper back muscles. Really important in creating safe and strong and durable low back positioning when you're deadlifting. That's number 1. Number 2 is pushing. Think about pushing your feet down through the floor upon standing up, regardless of whether you're using a kettlebell, trap bar, or barbell in your deadlifting. And lastly, number 3 is standing tall at the top of each rep. Now, the reason why it says sub-max glute squeeze at the top, because what we want to avoid is a maximal full tension glute squeeze where we squeeze so hard to the point where we tilt forward, which is not a good situation. We want to avoid that. Instead, just think about standing tall to this position versus this position, right? We want this and not that, okay? Those are the 3 concepts. We're going to review 3 primary lifts when it comes to deadlifting, 3 different variations. So number 1 is going to be utilizing a kettlebell, okay? Line up the handle of the kettlebell with the middle of your sneakers. From here, hinge back, bend your knees the rest of the way, since a trap bar and a kettlebell deadlift are sort of squattier in nature. From here, I'm going to pull the slack out of the bar, or the handle in this case, by creating tension right in my lat muscles. I'm going to pull and squeeze. From here, I'm thinking about pushing my feet down through the floor when I stand up. And when I stand up tall by submaximal, so not a maximal, submaximal glute squeeze, standing tall and back down. Now from the side, so you can see it, from the side on all of these lifts, you should be able to see the end cap of the bar, so right here and right here, and we'll go to those ones after, directly in line with my shoulder joint or armpit. That's what we want to make sure we have happen every single time. Lining this up with the middle of my sneakers, hinge, squat the rest of the way just to reach that position, because again, kettlebell and trap bar deadlifts uniquely are a bit more squatty. They require a bit more knee flexion or knee bending than a traditional conventional barbell deadlift. Pulling the slack out of the bar, creating tension. I'm nice and tight right here. Stand up tall, sub-max glute squeeze. Retrace that pattern to the bottom. So if you came up behind me and tried to touch my lats, you should see I'm kind of like Frankenstein. They're very tight. That's important. We want to create that tension again for low back strength. We're going to move on to the trap bar. So let's roll this bad boy out. So I'm going to move this into the position here. Big thing again, same 3 concepts apply, okay? Big thing you want to look for is making sure you're looking at the end cap of that barbell. That should be in line with my armpit and shoulder joint. Also, my hands, with the trap bar specifically, should be directly in the center of the handles. That's really important for setup. Okay, this should be in line with my armpit and shoulder joint, hands in the center of the silver handles. From here, pulling the slack out of the bar, stand up tall, sub-max glute squeeze, retrace that pattern. Now from the front, so what I was talking about with the handles, these handles right here, make sure your hand's not too far forward or too far back. That will directly impact what happens, or what in terms of where that bar wants to travel. If you're centered, right, so your hand should be direct in the center, which is in line again with that end cap. That's the nice thing about it. Line up the end cap with my hands, my armpits, my shoulder joint, you're good to go. Pull the slack out of the bar, stand up tall, sub-max glute squeeze, and then we're good. We're going to roll this out of the way and go with the barbell. So I'm going to show you the conventional barbell deadlift as well as the sumo barbell deadlift. All right? Again, the same 3 concepts apply regardless of which implement you're utilizing, okay? So conventional Whether you go double hand over or mixed strip is totally up to you. But again, same rules apply. End cap in line with armpit and shoulder joint. I'm gonna pull the slack out of the bar to get my lats tensioned for strong and safe and durable low back positioning. Gonna stand up tall, sub-max glute squeeze, same thing. So we're here, pull the slack out of the bar, stand up tall. Now, sumo positioning. With sumo, you'll notice folks will go just a touch wider, and that's what the position really calls for there, okay? How wide is dependent on the athlete and the lifter. So we're in that position. Note that the feet are wider than the hand positioning. Conventional, I'm here. Sumo, I'm here. All right? Same rules apply here, okay? Come down to the bar. End cap is in line again with the shoulder joint and the armpit. I'm gonna pull the slack out of the bar. Basically, I'm fulcruming. I'm using physics to fulcrum and pull my butt and body down by getting proud in the chest and pulling into the bar without it leaving the ground. That's pulling the slack out of the bar. So we're here, stand up tall, sub-max glute squeeze at the top, and that's how to deadlift.